Hi, in this video, we'll be trying to solve one of the past CAT questions using the concept of alligation as well as by using the normal way of solving this thing. So the question is right there in front of you. Please feel free to pause the video, try it out on your own, try to think of another approach using which you can solve this one, and then we will discuss the solution. So if you look at the question, it simply mentions to you what is the concept of concentration. So whenever someone tells you that a solution is of concentration P%, it essentially means that it has P grams of salt in some ml or 100 ml of the solution. That is the definition, very easy. We have 3 vessels here. The good thing is each of these 3 vessels is of the same volume, 500 ml. So it's very easy till here. We also know the respective strengths of these 3 vessels, 10%, 22% and 32%. Now what is happening here is 100 ml of solution is being removed from the first vessel and is put into the second vessel. Then again 100 ml is taken out from this mixture and put into the third vessel, and again 100 ml is taken out from the third vessel and is put back into the first vessel. And after this entire thing, we have to figure out what is going to be the resultant concentration of the solution in vessel A. So very easy question. It's very easy to read. It's very easy to understand. It's a nice little story that you're following. But when it comes to solving, the first thing that will probably come to your mind, especially in an exam scenario wherein you are under the pressure of the timer, is going to be to try to figure out what exactly is happening in purely physical terms. Meaning, you will try to figure out exactly how much amount is being taken out from each vessel and is being put into another vessel. Now, if you look at this particular question and you try to go along that particular path, what is going to happen is you are going to get a lot of numbers. Let's see what all numbers do we get. So let's say we are looking at this vessel A. If you are looking at vessel A, the concentration is 10%, meaning for every 100 ml of the solution, 10 grams is salt or 10 units is salt, the remaining 90 is water. But the solution here is of 500 ml. So how much of salt will be present? 10% of 500, which means you will have 50 salt and 450 water. Now what we are doing is we are removing 100 ml of this solution that was 500 ml. So we are removing 1/5 of it. Now the solution does not differentiate between salt and water, it's a mixture. So 1/5 of the solution will effectively mean that you are taking away 1/5 of the total salt and 1/5 of the total water. So in this case, we are taking away 1/5 of 50, that is 10 salt, and 1/5 of 450, that is 90 water. So this is the amount that has been taken out of this vessel. Now this is being put into vessel B, but vessel B already has some salt and water. How much salt does it have? 22% of 500, because 500 ml is the solution, 22% is the concentration. So 22% of 500 or 110 grams of salt is present in vessel B. So it also tells us that 390 ml of water will be present in vessel B or in solution B. So in this case, if I add whatever I had taken out from vessel A to vessel B, what will be the amount of salt that will be present? 120, because 10 salt had been taken out from A and put into B. Similarly, if you look at the amount of water, you may or may not want to calculate it, because if you see 500 ml was already present in B, 100 ml is being added, so the total solution has to be of 600, out of which if 120 is salt, the remaining 480 has to be water. No? So 90 plus 390 is also 480, or you can think about it along these lines. Now what is happening is solution B is now being taken away, or a bit of solution B is now being taken away. How much of it is being taken away? 100 ml is being taken away. 100 ml out of how much? 600 ml, as we have seen. So 1/6 is being taken away. Again, we are not differentiating between salt and water. So 1/6 of salt is taken away, 1/6 of water is taken away. 1/6 of salt is going to be 20, 1/6 of water is going to be 80. So 20 salt, 80 water is now being put into vessel C. What is the status of vessel C at the beginning? 32% salt is present out of 500 ml. So 32% of 500, 32 by 100 into 500 is going to be 160 salt, and the remaining 340 has to be water. So this is the original concentration or the original nature of whatever is present in C. Now we are putting 20 salt and 80 water into C. So what is going to be the later concentration of C or later split in terms of salt and water when it comes to vessel C? C will now have 180 salt and 420 water. 180 salt, 420 water. Now what we are doing is, we are taking away 100 ml from C, meaning 1/6 away from C and putting it back into A. So 1/6 of C is gone, meaning we are going to take 1/6 of 180 or 30 salt and 1/6 of 420, that is 70 water. And we are going to put it back into A. But mind you, A is no longer at 500 ml because we had already taken out 100 ml at the beginning. So the amount of salt left in A is going to be 50 minus 10, that is 40. The amount of water that is going to be left will be 450 minus 90, that is 360. So the amount of salt is going to be 70. The amount of water is going to be 430. The concentration of salt is going to be 70 divided by 500 because salt 70, water 430, volume 500. So 70 grams of salt in 500 ml of the solution will tell you that the concentration is going to be 70 divided by 5 or 14%. And so that is our answer. But it's a dense method, right? There are too many numbers. And again, during the exam, it's very difficult to write down each and every number with perfection. There will always be a chance where you will mess up one of these numbers and you will sort of do it in a different manner. You will get an answer at the very last step which is nowhere present in the options. And that is going to be a disaster. So how to avoid that? How to avoid a lot of calculation and solve this? We will try to look at it in the next stage. Just keep in mind one small thing. If you look at whatever had happened after solution A was added to solution B, you will see 120 is to 480, 1 is to 4, right? Or 20% concentration, 1 salt, 4 water, 1 out of 5 or 20% is the concentration here. If you look at what had happened after B was added to C, 180 and 420, 30% salt, 70% water. These are the numbers that are going to be crucial when it comes to solving it through alligations. So let's look at the alligation rule in this particular question. If you like our content and want to experience the IMS pedagogy, you can join the IMS Zero Fee Prep programs that will give you access to concept videos, sectionals, full-length tests and more for free. You may click on the I button or on the link in the description box below to access the same. Happy learning. So the same question, we are looking at the same data again, just that we are trying to look at the alligation rule. So just to give you a bit of context, if I just want to apply an alligation rule somewhere, right, there is going to be one small way in which I do this. So let's say for example, I have something of 10% present in some place. I have something that is at 20% present somewhere else. Let's say the average of these two is 12. One quantity is at 10%, the other quantity is at 20%, the average is 12%. What is the ratio in which these two items should be mixed so as to get a resultant concentration of 12? We simply do 20 minus 12, that is 8, 12 minus 10, that is 2. So what should be the ratio? 8 is to 2 or simply 4 is to 1. That is the alligation rule. Now let's say for example, this 12 has not been given to you, but this 4 and 1 have been given to you. So you have been told that the first quantity is of concentration 10%, the second quantity is of concentration 20%, they are to be mixed in the ratio of 4 is to 1. What will be the weighted average or what will be the resultant concentration? What do? You just try to figure out the difference between these two. Because if you observe carefully, 20 minus 12 is 18 and 12 minus 10 is 2. So if you just merge these two, you will understand that we are talking about nothing but the difference between 20 and 10 itself. So the difference between 20 and 10 is 10 parts, let's say, or 10 units, let's say. We are trying to divide these 10 units into 1 plus 4, that is 5 parts, right? So each part is 2 units. So let's say this is 10 units and 5 parts is what we are trying to divide them into. So each part will be 2 units. Now if 4 parts have to be present here, the gap between these two has to be 8 units. And that is precisely the thing that we are going to use for this question as well. This is something we can call reverse alligation. So in this case, we have the first solution at 10%. We have the second solution at 22%. We also know the weight in which these two solutions are being used. So the first solution we are using 100 ml, the second solution is 500 ml, so 1:5 is the split. So what number here will satisfy this particular thing? So 22 minus this number should be 1 part and this number minus 10 should be 5 parts. So effectively what we are doing is we are dividing the gap between 10 and 22, that is 12 units, let's say, into 6 parts. If 12 units is 6 part, 1 part is 2 units. 1 part is what we get here. So the gap between this should be 1 part or 2 units, meaning that we get 20. Does this 20 ring a bell? We had seen a few minutes back that this 20 was the concentration after whatever was taken out of A was mixed with whatever was there in B. And this is exactly how we get that 20, avoiding all those large numbers that we had seen. The second one, I will do it without explaining much because I hope by now you have understood what needed to be done. So the second mixture will happen when 22% is mixed with 32% or 20% rather, because the resultant concentration was 20, is mixed with 32% in the ratio of 1:5 again. Now you have to figure out why this is happening. Again, we have this thing, the gap is 12 units, the number of parts is 6, we know that 1 part is 2 units, 32 and 30 will be related because 32 minus 30 is 2 units, which is 1 part. Right? All these things you have to do in your head as we progress. Right? Now the resultant concentration is 30. Now this 30% concentration mixture is mixed with 10% concentration mixture because C goes back to A. And this is going to happen in the ratio of, again you have to be very careful here, the ratio here is going to be 1:4, not 1:5. 1:4 because we had already removed 100 ml from A to start with. So the amount that is present in vessel A is 400 ml. Now again we have 30 and 10, 20 units, and these 20 units have to be split into 5 parts. 5 parts, 20 units, 1 part, 4 units. 1 part here, 4 units away from here, your answer is 14, that is our answer. Very easy question if you know how to do your alligation and reverse alligation. And with that you will be able to solve this. Again, you can do it in your head as well with sufficient practice. So instead of writing down so many numbers and getting confused and being in uncertainty as to whether your answer is going to be right or not, I think this is a much cleaner method when it comes to solving it during an actual test. We have one replica question that will be shown to you at the end of this video. You can try it out on your own using both the methods if you wish to, and then try to see which method works better for you. You can put your answer in the comment section below and we'll get back to you in case there is something that you have not understood or something that you would wish to discuss. Happy learning!